governments, they will go into all sorts to create hatred, discord, separation, anything that's negative, they will do. And people say that the devil doesn't exist. Yes, he does. You can't have one without the other. The devil, as with any guides or any angels, cannot interfere. They can only influence, and that's all the devil does.
Prove to me that you are alive.
You said the spirit world. So to you, and again, from everything that you learned, and I want, like, when I say this, I really want people to understand that it's not that Michael just woke up one day and he's like, he read some stuff and then, or he kind of pieced things together. Like, this is a life for this person. Like, this is what he lives. It has taken him years upon years and years and years and years for this understanding to come. It's just like, when you want to become a lawyer or a doctor, obviously it doesn't happen overnight. So a lot of times when people will argue, I just want everyone to understand that this is from a very, very, very long experience, endless hours and days and blood, sweat and tears. So okay, the spirit world. So what to you is death? Is it more like the biblical version of hell and heaven, or are there reincarnation? Is there reincarnation? Like, what is death to you, and what did you mean by the spirit world being vast?
Right. Death for me is like swapping coats. For me, we all come to a stage where we are, all of us at some point are going to go home. For me, death is swapping one world to another. And for me, the spirit world has, for me, as I see it, and I've not been corrected by my guides, has different levels. As I said earlier, you can't have murderers and people who've done unspeakable evil to other people. You can't have them with family members and stuff like that. What you do this side of life is where you end up in the next side of life. But it's just kind of, I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a couple of films I've sat and watched, which has been very loosely and very close. One is The Shack, and the other one is, forget what it was called now, but it had Robin Williams in, and both of them are very.
I know what you're talking about. Robin Williams. It's a movie from the 90s, so it's basically his wife dies.
That's correct.
And it's the painting on the wall, and he goes into, I think it was like, okay, so you're saying that visually came very close to what it's probably like.
Yeah, it kind of works like that. It's as many people have explained over the years, that when they are due to pass over and they've got family members this side of life around their bed and everything, what the family members around the side of the bed won't see, but the person who is about to go home will see, is spirit family waiting to collect them. It's one of those experiences people don't really talk about, because it's not really heard of, and death is something what people don't talk about, because it's just kind of one of those things you push under the carpet, because you don't talk about those things. But for me, it's like swapping one coat to another. You're swapping this life to go home to see what you didn't learn this side of life, that you have to try and put right while you're in spirit. You don't stop learning when you're in spirit.
Okay, so basically you're saying that the notion of reincarnation, it doesn't exist. Basically meaning that we don't come back to the physical world the way it is now, just in a different body.
Yeah, you swap this world for the spirit world. So when that occurs, you kind of get settled in. You kind of do whatever you do in spirit. There's not a lot of mediums know what happens in spirit or where we actually go. But in the spirit world, when we are collected by family, then we are there to learn again, because we never stop learning this side, never stop learning the spirit. And the only way I can explain that is what my dad did to me this side of life. When he passed over, he came to ask for my forgiveness, as did my stepmother, for what they did. So again, you still have to try and put things right in spirit as you do this side of life. People are less accepting this side of life if you try to put something correct and try and make things right. Not everybody is that forgiving, to be fair, but in spirit you have that chance to try and rectify what you didn't do this side of life. So it is an ongoing thing.
Okay, so basically you are confirming that the soul lives forever, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Absolutely. Some people say it's spirit, some call it the soul. For me, it's either or. It goes into the spirit world. It doesn't go anywhere else.
So okay, so who is or what is the devil? And I'm gonna kind of expand. Obviously, biblically we know that an angel named Lucifer, he was cast down to what some people say here, as far as earth. So but you have this vast understanding, and yours is coming from all these different experiences. So if you could describe, and you told us what is God, what is this world, who is the devil, and who are some of his biggest minions, as you point out? Like, is it the politicians, is it the president, is it people above them? So yeah, who is the devil and who are his minions?
Right. You see, some people say the devil is the devil. You've got Satan and you've got Lucifer. Some people separate those two. Some people have them as one. The Satan, devil, whatever you want to call him, has his other fallen angels around him. There is there's too many demons. There are all sorts of demons. You got shapeshifters, you got hounds of hell, you've got other small little imps and demons that just cause and create havoc. You see, they are here in the spirit world and this side of life to cause hatred, to cause discord, to cause anything that isn't of light. So they will go into homes, they will go into families, they will go into governments, they will go into all sorts to create hatred, discord, separation, anything that's negative, they will do. And people say that the devil doesn't exist. Yes, he does. You can't have one without the other. You can't believe in God and then say there's no devil or there's no evil. But the devil, as with any guides or any angels, cannot interfere. They can only influence, and that's all the devil does. But then you have the flip side of that coin, where you have poltergeists that are evil. You have other demons that will attack other people with scratches on and stuff like that. They can get physical. But Satan is, or the devil is, above everybody, and people don't understand that the devil knows everything about God and vice versa, because he was near enough second in command. So with him falling, he is controlled this earth. And there was something I seen which I'm a bit iffy about, that the Vatican has got, from biblical times, Cain, when God cursed him, allegedly he's under the Vatican in a cave somewhere. So this is all deception. This is all the devil does. He's pure deception. Anything that is deception or lies or half truths, that is where it all comes from.
You mentioned obviously the demonic side, and then all these different entities. So poltergeist, and so have you had a supernatural experience that you can maybe share with us, where it was either demonic, or let's say I don't know, a dog man, or a poltergeist, or like, have you had any experiences like that yourself, or even scratches, or maybe you've seen someone that, like, this was definitely a supernatural experience?
There's that many. One always kind of sticks out more than anything else, and this goes along with spell work. I got involved with somebody many years ago. By that time, I was doing cleansings. I was going into houses and getting rid of entities and all such things. But this particular one sticks out. I kind of went to this woman's house, and just basically she said she had a portal in her bedroom. And I just thought, yeah, whatever, let's go and have a look. Because normally when I go into a house that needs cleansing, I tell people, don't tell me where it is, I'll know where it is, I'll go and find it. But she says she wouldn't enter her bedroom. So I says, you'll be fine, I'm going in. I says, I will have a look. So it goes up to her bedroom on the top floor, and I opens the door, and you could instantly sense something untoward wasn't right. So she says, it's in that corner. And I went, let me just have a look around the room first. So I had a look around the room, and I got back to where the door was. I turned my head like that, and out of this portal were two hounds of hell coming out of this portal. They were pure black. They had red eyes and teeth so long, it was unreal. So I managed to close the portal. So it led us on to something else, where I said to her, you're going to have to move. I says, because if you don't move, I says, and this portal opens again, they will tell you to unalive yourself as well as your children. I said, so you've got to move. So she moved, and then we kept in touch, got in contact and everything. And then somebody started to stir the pot. And this other person that was stirring the pot and, telling lies and stuff, caused such a massive mess. So me being kind of, whether it being helpful or kind of being stupid, one or the other or both, I decided to help her cast this spell. And in the meantime, she'd cottoned on and just trying to think of this entity that she summoned. I can't think of her name, but it was a princess that had died very violently, who hated men. So I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything at the time. So I said, when you've done it, I said, send me a picture of what you've done. So she went, okay. So I went home, and about a day and a half later, she sent me a picture through. She'd done this spell, and she had it in a bowl of water. And this bowl of water, it fizzled and everything else, and then it just stopped. And I thought to myself, okay, it's worked. I know it's worked. Later in that week, I was due to have my son over the weekend, but he didn't come this particular weekend. I'd gone to work, came home, and I felt really ill. I felt as though something weren't right. I thought I might need to take myself to hospital because I really felt ill. So I'm sat there, I had my tea, and for the first time I've ever known in my whole life, I went to bed at about 7:30. Never known. And I felt really ill. I felt, to be fair, as though I was dying. And I thought, well, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die in my bed. And it took me a good 5 minutes to get upstairs. I was that bad. I felt really ill. So I got in bed, and as I waited and waited, I just drifted off to sleep. So morning come round, open my eyes, and like as you do, not dead then. So I got up, showered, went downstairs, made breakfast, had a cup of tea, and as I was drinking my tea, one of my guides came to me and they said, "This is what you must do now." And I thought, okay then. They wanted me to do one circle of salt with a connecting line of salt with a pentagram in the middle, with a salt around this pentagram. And I was to sit in the first circle of salt and speak in tongues until they said otherwise, which took half an hour. I was absolutely shattered afterwards, and they said, it's done. And I said to my guides, I says, why? And they wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't tell me for at least a year, until I come back to them and I said, look, what went off? Now, whether people will believe this or not, I don't care. I know this happened. My guide said to me, on that Friday night, there were 7 demons trying to take my soul out of my body. They were literally at it all night, trying to take my soul out of my body. I could sense and feel what they were trying to do. But that is the closest I've come to kind of being shocked or absolutely terrified. But that was something that'll always stay with me, because it's an experience that was to help me in my further cleansings. It's, it's just something that it was frightening at the time, but
Prove to me that you are alive.
I had the experience at the time to handle that and get through that. If I hadn't, then I don't know what would have happened. But my guides did tell me they gave it to me to sort, because had I not sorted it, the person that it was aimed at would have killed them. So it was like, it is what it is, and you get through those things. But that's a mind-blowing one that I've one of the things that I've been through. So, you know, people believe it or not, but it is possible. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, you know, the more that you share your story, the more I'm realizing that I'm very privileged that I get a chance to hear your story and sort of like, you know, really indulge in it, you know, from the audible side and from the spiritual side. And I think that people that see this will be, you know, will feel honored and privileged that you're sharing with us this story. But I'm also kind of realizing that in this, you know, battle, as you described, of good and evil that's actually happening, you play some sort of a, you know, an important role, because you were tested, you know, so early on to such different extremes,
Mm.
where your nature has come out, and you know exactly, you know, that you are on the right path. For a lot of people, it takes a lifetime, you know. For some people, even one lifetime is not enough. So we've been here for almost 2.5 hours, and I don't want to keep you here for much longer. You're like, it's late. I do have a gazillion questions, but if you do promise, if you do give me your word that we will do this again, because I have a lot more questions.
Sure.
Yeah, and so for today, because I know it's nighttime for you, and again, thank you so much for doing this, for accommodating my schedule. I appreciate it. I have a few more questions before we wrap up.
Sure.
Um, what would you say to all these UAP, UFO, and recently the quote unquote New Jersey drones experiences, people seeing orbs and all kinds of stuff like that? So what I'm asking is, a lot of people say aliens, right? And we are kind of being, you know, pushed towards this idea that, oh, look, aliens, you know, maybe a fake alien invasion is coming, or whatnot. So, and then there's the other side of people that are saying, well, these are not, you know, creatures from some other planets. These are spiritual beings, meaning, like, you know, these are demonic things. How would you describe, you know, this phenomena of UFO, UAP, all of these different things that people are seeing, crafts? Are these visitors from other planets, or are these demonic beings?
um, for me, it's all tied into to the Bible. You see, as I say, the devil is kind of there to hoodwink people. Now, as far as aliens go, no, I don't believe aliens exist, and that's what I think. That's what I believe. Um, UFOs, no, it's there. You see, the devil is selling everybody a lie, because in case Jesus Christ does come back, they have to have something in place to explain why so many people have disappeared. So then they
Wow.
perpetuate the lie of alien invasion and alien craft, this, that, and everything else. The technology we've got today, you've got drones and stuff like that. It has been said that Area 51 played a massive part in um, some of the craft that they send around the world to make the lie believable.
Mhm.
For me, it will always be the demons and the entities. For me, aliens don't exist. But then again, do you question, is a demon an alien because it's not of this world? So where do you draw the line? For
Right.
me, as I say, for me, aliens don't exist. I know demons do. So are the demons they classifying as aliens? You know, so
I will.
where do you draw the line?
I'm sorry. So okay. So I will clarify. Are these interplanetary, or are these interdimensional?
I would have to say interdimensional. I don't think they're interplanetary. I'm not saying that there's not other life outside of Earth. But again, it draws you into the question of, you know, landing on the moon. Did it not? You know, a lot of people have different aspects, but I go by what I know and experience wise. And for me, it will always be demons.
Yeah,
And, you know,
sorry for interrupting. From everything that we know about you so far, if there were other planets, you probably would have been shown the other planets, because based on your life, and I'm pretty sure your guides would show you if there were other planets. Okay, so um the UFO kind of thing, that clears up. What else did I had this like super interesting question. It flew right out of my head. That means that I wasn't supposed to probably ask it. Okay. Do you think that there is work being done, because you mentioned Area 51? We also know about CERN, the particle collider. What do you have to say to those people that are claiming that there are portals that are being opened and entities are being let into our realm? Like, what do you say to that?
I think, I think these people are messing with things they don't understand. They just see, you know, they do these projects and go, right, if we can do this, let's see what comes back. But they kind of, if they're opening something and something comes through that they have no idea about, or how to handle it, or how to deal with it, you know, what are they going to do? What are they going to hide? I know they're hiding loads of stuff, but they don't know how to handle it. And for me, when you mess with Mother Nature, when you mess with what God's created, then you are going to get a major kickback at some point. They shouldn't be messing with stuff that, you know, that they don't understand. It's, as I say, it takes us back to the Ouija boards. You're messing with stuff you don't know anything about, and it's all right. People saying, "Yeah, we close them down afterwards." I don't care whether you close them down or not. You've let something through that you don't know about. So it's, they should leave things alone. Why mess with something or start something that you don't know anything about? You might know about particles and ions and all that stuff. Stick with what you know, not with what you don't know.
Okay, so I got like, I promise I got like 3 more questions. So this spiritual battle, this warfare that I guess we are all a part of, some people like you play, a more important role, if you will. I'm not trying to talk to the ego, but I'm saying, like, there were things that were opened to you in this lifetime for a reason. So it's a simple question. So in this battle, and we are in the battlefield, who do you think, or what side do you think right now is winning that battle?
Dark side, without question. Without question. If anybody says, "Oh, there's, lights winning this, that, and everything else," I think it's a battle for territory. To be fair, I think there are strongholds in the dark side, and I think there are strongholds in the light side. For me, the dark side has it, very much so. But while there is so much good in the world and so many good people in the world, the dark won't conquer. It won't conquer at all, not yet, because it's not time.
Yeah, man. I always like when, because I was like this super inquisitive, teenager and everything like that. And sometimes people ask me, well, when you met this black magic magician or whatever, were you not scared? And I'm like, why should we, the children of God, why should we with the light, why should we be scared? Like, they should be afraid of us.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is what I wanted to ask you. And again, I got like a billion questions, but I'm not, it's late for you. So we have to do this again and again, please.
Sure.
This has been so interesting. I can't thank you enough. So let's say, someone watches this, and they find similarities in their story, but they are still in the early stages of their journey. What advice would you give to someone that is realizing that they're coming into something, they're being torn apart, light, dark, good, bad? Like, what is there sort of, do you have an advice for someone like that?
I would always, it's like I always say to people and lots of the clients I've read, I would always advise them and tell them to feel what they're feeling and to check and recheck whatever you pick up. But instead of rushing, you take small steps very often and build those small steps. Make sure you make a solid foundation to what you have already been through so you can grow. But I would always say to them that always walk on the light side, because my guides wag their fingers something and frown at me when I pick up one of my spell books. So it's kind of, once you're on the path of the light, then always stay on that, because to wander away from that will do you no good. You have to stay on the light. If you've got feelings towards the dark, embrace it, have a look at it, pick it up every so often just to see what they're going on. Because me delving into the dark side has helped me combat the dark side by walking through the light and shunning the dark and sending things back where they should be.
Yeah, that's why I said that the role that you play in all of this is a major role, because you were shown these extremities, where
Mm.
your vision and your feeling now is much more clear than opposed to someone that didn't hit these super extreme
Mm.
points in their life. So my last question, only for today, because you are coming back. And this is sort of a tradition for the Prove to Me That You're Alive podcast, is what is the meaning of life to you?
Hmm. I think for me, the meaning of life is being who you are. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks, it's who you are as a person and where you think you should be and where you think you belong. For me, life is for living. Life is for giving and helping others and being kind to others, having that empathic feel for other people. You can have a big house, you can have a big fast car, you can have a massive bank balance. You kick the bucket tomorrow, can't take it with you, can you? So I always say to people, you always kind of be kind to people, be loving towards people, because you know you never know who might need your kind word just that one day. You might make them feel $1 million. You might prevent them from harming themselves or doing themselves wrong. So live life how you live it, how you want to live it, understand others, empathize with others, then be loving and kind, because in the spirit world your currency isn't money, it's your heart and soul. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, those were true words of wisdom, and I think you nailed something so important, that sometimes you never know, just by a kind gesture or a kind word, you can save someone's life. And on the contrary, by you maybe doing something that is not so good, you might be pushing someone over the edge, and
Mhm.
where they were just a step away, and kind of pushed them over that edge. So I once again want to say thank you to David for hooking this up.
Yeah,
This is a
much appreciated.
yeah.
Much.
Thank you. So is there anywhere that people can find you, and maybe you want to share with me some links where people can go look you up? Like, are you on YouTube, Instagram? Like, is there anything you want to share on that side?
I'm on, not so much on, I'm on Facebook, but I don't spend so much time on there. I'm more on TikTok and sometimes on Instagram. They're the main ones I use.
Okay, so just remember that if you want to send me some links that you want me to plug
Sure.
in the description, please do so. So people can go and find you and learn some things. So please come back. Like we have, we're gonna be in touch. Please come back, because I have a
Absolutely.
gazillion more questions, and this is so interesting. And I just want to say, thank God that you are. I always tell people, look, and especially I want to tell you, look, you are a blessing and a gift to this
Thank
world.
you.
Sometimes we don't realize the impact that we have because we don't think about it. But I know that by you sharing this story today and sharing your thoughts and ideas and your profound spiritual experience, you will be helping some people, and you will be that catalyst, to someone finding their path in life. I am sure of this. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time. I know it's late for you. So please come back. Let's hook this up, and I'll let you take us out of here if you have anything else to say to end today's talk.
Thank you. Thank you, David, for mentioning me and getting me on here. Much appreciated. As I say, it's nice to be, somebody who's interested in what you do and what your work is. It's just mind blowing. But it's like I've always said, please look after yourself, because if you're not looking after yourself, you cannot look after anybody else. Never leave your cup half empty, even a quarter empty. Always keep it full.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the magician. This was the medium. This was the philosopher, and a super cool guy and human being. And this was Prove to Me That You're Alive. And look out for our next conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike.